Hello, folks. I am seeing the live event hasn't started, but I'm also seeing that my desktop is live. I'm hoping that folks can hear me. If you can, welcome PowerShell Community Call for March 18th, 2021. Nathan M. is asking if we're getting started. It does seem like we have a slightly low attendee count here, 22, which doesn't worry me too much, except just to make sure that people are able to join here. You haven't seen any buzz on Twitter or anything, right, Steve? No last minute.
Well, I tweeted
I can get into the community
today.
call.
Today or yesterday. I tweeted very recently that about the community call because I forgot about it. I keep forgetting. I need to, even though I have reminders, I keep forgetting. But no, maybe this will be a low key one. Okay. At least confirmation they can hear us. That's good.
We can hear you. Great. I thought this was going to be a regular Teams call instead of a live event. When will that be changed? Great question. I need to look into the permissions models. Yeah, it's really it's on me to like play around with it by myself and like a second account. Folks told me last time that all the restrictions of needing a live event versus a meeting are gone now, so we should just be able to run it as a meeting. But I don't want to figure that out live without having play tested it myself. So I will definitely, I'll put here Joey to follow up on trying Teams meeting with public non-federated accounts. Use meeting instead of live event. Cool. We will do questions and answers at the end, though. We have a pretty good agenda for all you folks today. We're going to be first hopping into the PowerShell Team 2021 roadmap. This was a blog that Steve and I posted last week, I believe. So if you hop over to...
Maybe even a couple of weeks ago.
Maybe a couple of weeks. Oh, wow.
It was it was 2nd of March.
This was... Man, time is flying by.
Yeah.
So, so this was March 2nd. You should definitely check this one out. We go through really a lot of the kind of themes behind PowerShell 7.2 and a lot of the other modules that we're working on. So you've got good info here on DSC, some of the features in PowerShell 7, shipping not quite in Windows, but closer there. Some of the secret management, secret store, Crescendo, PS Readline, PowerShell Get is chock full of good stuff. So, you know, if you care about any of these things, you should hop over to the blog, check out these hyperlinks, and follow them up to kind of understand and get more involved with whichever specific module or feature set that you're interested in. If you didn't see what you wanted here, obviously, you know, that means it's probably a lower priority for us. Doesn't mean that we're not doing it or that it can't be done in the community. So, you know, but some of these things do tend to displace our ability to review incoming PRs and, you know, incoming feature proposals. So certainly anything that is, you know, related to these areas is going to take higher precedence in regards to us, you know, looking at those issues, code reviews, etc. So, you know, it's a balance, but yeah, Steve, you wanted to add some stuff here?
Well, first, Jason wanted to confirm that this is being recorded, so that we'll have the video later.
Yes, I believe these are recorded as an automated matter. Yeah.
Okay. If that's the case, then we're good.
Yeah, I've never hit or start recording button.
I just want to highlight, so I do recommend, like you said, everyone read this for themselves, but I would kind of highlight maybe 2 areas. One is the Microsoft update. You know, like one of the long-standing things that people keep asking is when can we really replace or have PowerShell 7 inbox in Windows? And, you know, we keep giving the same answer. And in fact, we highlight it here on the first paragraph. You know, we are tied to .NET runtime, and they have good business decisions for not supporting the Windows lifecycle, which is like 10 years basically. So that is a challenge for us. But so we are working on this, and I don't have a time frame when it'll actually show up. But when we do publish the Microsoft update, then it should make it easier for folks to get it installed across all their Windows machines.
So yeah, the hope is that this is well integrated with given that it's shipping on the download catalog Microsoft update, that you'll be able to use tools like WSUS, SCCM, Intune, or any other tools that integrate with the download catalog. Obviously, we're on Microsoft Update as well, which is one that I'm looking forward to, given that I just manually install the MSI for myself, and I'll just get those updates there for new versions of PowerShell.
Yeah, so the other thing I wanted to talk
routinely
about,
busted for being out of date. Sorry,
Yeah.
Steve, go ahead.
No, that's fine. So the other thing I just want to highlight, because we do talk about PowerShell a lot, obviously, because it's a PowerShell committee call, but my team also owns OpenSSH. So there's a section on here about OpenSSH. And yeah, we don't have as many people working on that as I would like, but we are still actively working on getting the box, the version that we ship in box updated. And hopefully we'll have more things to announce on that later.
Absolutely. Cool. Do you want to talk about, or maybe take over here for some of the 7.2 Preview 2 demos while I write down all the good stuff we just said in notes here?
Let me share my desktop here. Find the right one. I think it's this one. Dang it. Why did it do that? All right. Hold on. Let me do this. Is it sharing or not?
I am not seeing your share. Hold on.
I'm going to try again.
I may need to actually click it through.
Oh, like approve it or something?
Yeah, well, you go into the queue and then, because I saw your window in the bottom right, but I got to do that and then go send live. I don't know if I thought you could do that as a presenter.
Let me know. So is it showing the blog?
I can see the blog, Steve.
Yeah, that's what I can see too.
Okay, good. So just to confirm I got the right window. So if I open this, then you see a terminal, Windows terminal?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. Again, I recommend everyone read the change log for 7.2 Preview for themselves to see all the changes. I just kind of want to highlight two specific changes that one should be immediately, or not immediate, but you probably notice yourself. And the other one is tied to Windows Terminal. So the first one, and both of these changes came because of user requests. So the first one is if you do something like install module, not store broker, but something that doesn't exist, just type in random characters. Then what happened previously, and actually, oh, dang it, I want to do this in an older PowerShell. Hold on, I have one.
I do just want to confirm if anybody can drop in the Q&A and just say that they can see Steve's console, because I am still seeing where the left side shows it, but the right side says the live event hasn't started, which is confusing.
Oh, yeah, maybe the presenter sees something different.
Yeah, so people said that they could see before, but I just want to confirm if somebody can just say on the Q&A, yes, in fact. Dongbo says he can see, but Dongbo, we're the ones on the inside. That's the problem.
Someone just said we can see it.
Okay, great. Thank you, folks. I appreciate you hopping in there. Sorry about that, Steve. Apologies.
It's all right. It's good to confirm because I want to make sure I'm not showing something I should be showing. But all right. So I have an older PowerShell. I wanted to show what the previous experience was first. So this will still take a little bit of time as it queries PowerShell gallery and finds that this doesn't exist. So while I was waiting, I'll just explain what was happening with the new concise view for errors is that even for script modules, you'll see that you get the error message, but it's showing you in the line that it actually failed in this case, because PowerShell get v2 is a script module. You'll see this additional information, which for I think most users is confusing. It also breaks our module scope abstraction. So the change here really is here, so which already got the error. So it's the same error message, but you kind of get the same experience if this was a C# module versus a script module versus a CDXML module, whatever the case may be. So I think this is a better experience. Again, we're always looking for feedback. Now, as a module author, if you wanted to get the detailed information you had previously to debug it, then if you do get error, then you'll get all the information you had, including the line information and all that. So that is still there. This is just a rendering change. The other thing I wanted to show quickly, again, this is for preview 4, is there's a new progress use OSC indicator, and by default it's going to be off, so it'll be false. If you set it to true, and if you have a new enough version of Windows Terminal, or ConEmu also supports this, but I'm not aware of other terminals that support this, which is why it's off by default. Then if you do a long-running operation, so I have one in here, so this is going to download. Oh wait, I don't want to download because that doesn't have percent complete. I want to do expand archive, and I have to do force. Oh wait, why did it fail? Oh, this is what happens when I do a live demo. Is it because I don't have that zip right now? Operation stopped. Oh, putz. All right, let me do this. Oh, I know why. It's because I started the download and I stopped it, so it's invalid zip. So I need to actually figure out why this didn't show that error message. Let me just re-download it real quick. It's because I Control-C'd it, so it's not a valid zip file. All right, so now if I do expand archive, then you kind of see up here, as part of the terminal, it's going to start filling in the circle. And so if you have like multiple tabs, here's the other tab, then you can still use this as a way to gauge like a long-running operation, and when it's complete, you can just go back to it. So that's really that's the only change there. So again, those were like just two small things that were in the preview 4. There are a bunch of other changes, so definitely take a look at the change log. And that's all I got for that.
Awesome. I'm just taking back over here. So next up, we have Sydney's talking about the Secret Store RC3. And actually, she's going to show a demo here. I'm sorry, I had the demo word hidden.
I am just pulling up my screen.
Okay, let me click it and send live. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah. So we've had 2 recent releases of Secret Store and 1 recently release of Secret Management. So I just wanted to give a quick demo and show the features that we have added. So the first feature that I want to talk about is specific to Secret Store. So not directly related to Secret Management, but instead about the Secret Store configuration. So previously, we had this commandlet set Secret Store configuration, which allows you to change a number of the configurations for your Secret Store, things like whether you want it to be interactive or non-interactive, the password timeout, and in fact, whether you want to have a password or not at all. And this commandlet did require a manual password confirmation to make changes to the configuration. Unfortunately, what this meant was that there was no way to create and configure a Secret Store in automation. So this blocked several scenarios, including CI. So what we did with this change was we added a password parameter to the set Secret Store configuration. So now I can pass in a password here, and also use the PowerShell practice of confirm false. And with these 2 parameters together, I can now use set Secret Store configuration non-interactively. And this is really important because now you can create a Secret Store, non-interactively set the interaction type to none, and then use the unlock Secret Store commandlet to fully create, configure, and use a Secret Store in automation. So this feature is available in Secret Store version 0.9.2, or also known as RC3. This is the latest version of Secret Store, so if you run install module Secret Store, this is the version that you will get. So the other feature that I wanted to talk about and show was secret metadata support. So this feature was a feature that we added both to Secret Management as well as Secret Store. So in the Secret Management portion, we added interface support for secret metadata. And this was a really highly requested feature because as users store more secrets in Secret Management, they may want to know what the secrets are intended for, like a particular subscription or scenario. They might want to know the secret creation date, expiration time or other information to manage the secret life cycle. And so we decided to go ahead and add this feature. I will, however, mention something really important to note is that metadata support is an optional feature for Secret Vault extensions to implement. So while this is available today in Secret Store, as well as a number of other community extensions, it's not available for all extension vaults. And so if you do try and add metadata to a vault that doesn't support it, you'll get a nice little error message indicating that. So what I want to show you though quickly is how you can set metadata and view metadata specifically using Secret Store because that's the vault I have registered right now. So if I use the set secret commandlet, you can give my secret a name, my secret, and then we added this metadata parameter. And so I can provide some secret metadata. So I can say the purpose of the secret is just as an example. And we can go ahead and set that secret. If I have an existing secret, I can also add secret data with a new commandlet that's called set secret info. So I have an existing secret foo, and then I can add some metadata using the metadata parameter. And so I can indicate what the purpose of this secret was. Now, if I want to view my secrets and my secret information, we use the get secret info commandlet, which will enumerate all your secrets. What's important to note is that for a number of reasons, including the fact that this is an optional feature and that metadata can be quite long, it's not shown in the default view of get secret info. However, if I use get secret info and then I pipe to something like select name and metadata, I'll be able to see my secrets and metadata there. So those were the things that I wanted to show today. We are getting really close to a GA on both Secret Management and Secret Store in the next week or so. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for the blog post and release on all of that. And then also just quick shout out to Paul, who did all of the work on both of these modules. But yeah, that's all I got.
Thank you so much, Sydney. Yeah, we're really excited for this. This secret management module has been in development for probably a year now, and yeah, definite kudos to Paul. It's evolved heavily since we first started, and thank you to everybody that got involved, with the design and gave us a lot of feedback. I think we've got Justin Grote here on the call, actually giving a demo in a little bit, who gave us a ton of great feedback in the early and late days of secret management. So. We really appreciate that, and it's definitely made the module better and made us feel a lot more confident about shipping a GA release here. So, yeah, I'm just finishing up those notes, and then we can hop into it with dynamic help. Jason, you want to take over?
Yeah, thanks, Joey. Hey, everyone. I wanted to show you a new feature that we just shipped in our latest preview of PS Readline. And this is in addition to tab completion and the predictive IntelliSense that we've already shipped. And it's to help users be more successful sooner with PowerShell. And so if you can see my screen, I want to demonstrate this for you. But think about this. I don't know about you, but when I'm working in PowerShell, I need a lot of help. A lot of help. So sure, I can open up 2 consoles or multiple terminal tabs or spend a few minutes searching the web, but it takes my focus away from what I'm actually working on. And so what I really need most of the time is just a simple answer to my question. And that's where this new feature, dynamic help, comes into play. So let me just give you a quick example. I'm going to start typing a commandlet, get child item. Yeah, I like that one for some reason. And here's the interesting part of the new feature. When you press F1, dynamic help provides a full view of the commandlet help and showing you in this alternative screen buffer. And the interesting thing about this is you can use your arrow keys to move up and down and take a look at the help file and hit Q to quit. But notice something when I hit Q to quit. it returns me right to where I was typing. I can continue this, and I can type -path as a parameter. And if I hit F1, notice that it takes me right to -path. So I can look right at what that parameter is and what it expects. When I hit Q, it goes right back to where I was typing, and I can continue on, and I can continue on the rest of this and use F1 to look at the commandlets and the parameters. Now, in the case of sometimes when you're working, not everything you want to get that full help for. As a matter of fact, I'm moving my cursor here over to a parameter, and let's just say that, you know what, I just want to know what the argument type is for this. Well, along with pressing F1, we've added a couple of other keystrokes that you can use. And one of my favorite ones on Windows for this is Alt-H. And when you hit Alt-H, what you get is just a summary version of what that parameter, its argument type, and what kind of pipelining does it take? Does it accept pipeline values? So it makes it a quick way for you to snap on and snap off a little help as you're typing. But really, what I really wanted to show was one of the what I think is the most useful features, especially if you're working with predictive IntelliSense. So let me just take a prediction in here, same prediction that I had, and there's another keystroke that you can use, and that's Alt-A. And here's what Alt-A does, is Alt-A moves you to just the arguments for your parameters so that it's quick for you to change those. And of course, if you're running predictions, it didn't do it on mine here, but it will also change the rest of the prediction if that is the case. So you can quickly accept and then change the arguments that you want, and then of course run those commands. So a couple of things for you. F1 is your friend now. F1 is going to provide you the help and allow you to get right back to the work that you need. Alt-H is going to provide you some simple, very concise help for the parameters, and Alt-A is going to provide you with the ability to switch between those arguments. Now, a couple of notes, and I'm going to post a couple of links for you to a blog post and to our GitHub where you can file in some issues, but also you'll notice a note in the blog post. If you're a Mac user, you're going to have some problems with these Alt keys. We are aware of it, and you can remap your key to something else. I use right now Control L and Control K for my Alt keys for this, and we have an issue filed, and so that issue is available if you'd like to comment or help us out on it. And with that, I'll post a couple of links, and that's all I got, Joey.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely share that one around the shortcuts because we do definitely want to get folks' feedback on, which of those shortcuts are most desirable and, ultimately how we should do those on Mac. So I'm just getting my content back here with the existing keyboard shortcuts. Give us feedback. Yep. And then we'll take that one there. Awesome. So next up, Sean, you're providing an update on the documentation. We got some good ones today.
Yeah, so let me, I just put a note in the Q&A. We have some new documentation that we published. I'll bring up.
Oh yeah, please do.
My browser. We launched this new.
Just give it 1 second. Sorry. All right, you should be live now.
Okay. We published some new documentation for this group of PowerShell utility modules. These are modules that are created and maintained by the PowerShell team. They have varying levels of support, but these are things that we're actively working on, and now we've published the documentation, so it's here, and we'll be adding more information to this as we go along. Some of this stuff, like Crescendo, is still a work in progress, so for several of these things, you'll see just placeholder information, but there's two commandlets in Crescendo, the export Crescendo module and import command configuration, that are fully documented. And we have the secrets management and secret store modules out here, and along with these others. We'll be adding more modules to this over time, and contributions to this repo work the same way as they do for the main docs repo. So we can take issues and pull requests. I also wanted to let everyone know that we've been working with the Windows documentation team, and we finally got content stood up for the Windows management modules for Server 2019, and we're working on Server 2022, since that'll be coming down the pipeline soon. And we will get them on board our new updatable help pipeline. So that should resolve the last of the issues of update help for those management modules once we get that all sorted out. And that's what I have.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we're really excited. I know a lot of that update help has either not been accurate or there's been some bugs there and things like that, and that's really awesome. And then obviously for the modules we own, I think it's really important that we have that documentation available somewhere publicly. So it's something that has been a gap for a long time, but that we're happy to finally fill here. So I'm going to just go ahead and hand it over to Justin today. Justin Grote's coming in with a community demo of his profile. So we're going to see some awesome stuff in here. We had some issues having him hop online last week, but we've got that all ironed out. For those of you that are interested in showing some demos, we did have a couple of you post in the GitHub issue. We apologize for dropping the ball on that one. We will have an office form for next week's so that we can take the info that we need in order to add you to the call appropriately, although maybe if this works out with the meeting next time, we won't need to do that. So sorry for that intermission. Justin, are you okay, ready to go?
Should be good. Can you hear me?
I can. I'm going to go ahead and push your content live. So there you go. Go for it. Take it away.
Thank you. And if someone can confirm in the chat that they can see my content, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'm just going to roll. So hi, everybody. My name is Justin Grote. I'm a Microsoft MVP and just a general PowerShell user for many years. I'm just going to demo a few things here. As you can see, I posted on Twitter when I was asked to do this. Had a few ideas for the community call and just threw a few ideas out there. And the thing most people want to know was what's in my profile. And I thought that's kind of actually a really good one to do, because not only does it kind of cover some neat tips and tricks and get you kind of thinking about stuff you can do to customize your PowerShell experience, it also touches on some of these other things that are in the list anyways. So let's go ahead and get started here. So what's in my PowerShell profile? Well, if you want to know, you can go find it. I have this repository, github.com, justingrote.files, where I keep it. And so this uses a tool called Chez Moi, which you may or may not have heard of. This is a tool that basically keeps your profile in sync across multiple different computers, runs on all different platforms, kind of in the same way. Anywhere I can run PowerShell, I can run this tool. And it basically interacts with GitHub and lets you use templates to set up per operating system kind of configurations. So I'm not going to go too much into that right now, but just kind of give you an idea. That's why this folder kind of looks a little funky. But it is that particular profile is here in my Chez Moi templates, and here is my profile. So we're going to look at that in a little bit nicer view here in VS Code. And I'm going to fold my keys right here, fold all regions. So I have my code just kind of broken into a few different sections. This just kind of helps me keep it organized, and we're just going to hop through those real quick. So for some editor stuff, one thing I like to do is I like to have a single unified history for all my different consoles. By default, like VS Code gets its own history file. Others using like the core console gets its own history file. And so this just kind of puts all my history files in the same place. I like to do little version checks, so I'm not spending time doing a bunch of stuff. But if my PS read line supports the new prediction stuff, which is just a kind of a quick version check there, I enable all the extra prediction history stuff, which you guys have probably seen, where you can do git and you get this nice little completion there. You can hit F2 to see the really fancy view with the Azure predictor and all that. But that basically just sets that up so I don't have to do these commands every single time. The next thing here is that if you go to this address, and all these will be posted as links later, there are a lot of really cool key handlers for PS Readline. I think one thing a lot of people don't know is you can basically, anything you could write as a PowerShell script, you can bind as a key handler. So this is sort of my old F1 before this new dynamic help thing came. I really liked being able to do things like get AZ action group and hit F1 and actually have it open my browser to the help for that. And the way this works is it just looks if the application has, if somebody's written the help to be there, it'll pull that up. If it doesn't have help, then it'll bring it up in the graphical show window. So really handy kind of way to kind of get that information. If you want that shortcut, it's here. It just shows. Real simple though, not other than all this boilerplate stuff. It's basically first try to get it online. If online can't be displayed, use the show window to get it. So kind of a nice way to look at help in addition to the dynamic help that's there. Ways to, if I have a big piece of text that I just want to paste as a here string, I got that. If I want to be able to get a member of something real quick, like this thing, I can do Control Alt parentheses, or I might not be able to have it in this one, and Alt parentheses, excuse me, forgot I just had that there, and it should automatically, Alt Shift parentheses, there we go, sorry. So if I have something where I want to just get the member off a variable or something like $test, it's just simply Alt Shift parentheses, and it wraps it so that I can do this thing. Simple stuff like that. Same thing with quotes, if I want to toggle between the different kinds of quotes. And that's kind of the key of those. So just give you some ideas of anything you can make as a script and do this kind of AST stuff, you can make a PS Readline shortcut. I like to have my editor set default to code when I'm on a system that has VS Code installed. Otherwise, I like Nano. You can do Vi, Emacs, whatever. I like my old school Notepad thing because I don't want to learn all the fancy stuff there. So that just sets my handler there. And then this is just a simpler handler that if I'm in a folder somewhere, I can do Control, as you can see here, I can do Control Shift E. Let me just go to a projects folder, for instance. Seems like a bicep template I've been working on here, and Control Shift E. And it automatically opens that folder in VS Code for me. So little things, makes my life easier, makes it a little faster, etc. I have some credential defaults. Now notice I don't have any actual credentials saved in here, but I'm using the new secret management module and just kind of defining some real generic names, PS default credentials, and these individual keys. For instance, my PowerShell gallery key, my default VMware key, my PRTG login. And none of my credentials are saved in here, but they're saved in vaults that kind of have these generic definitions. So no matter what system I'm on, if I just register a vault with this name and the secrets have these names, it will work. It doesn't matter if that secret is in Secret Store. It doesn't matter if it's in my Chromium browser using my Chromium extension. Doesn't matter if it's in KeyPass. Doesn't matter if it's in 1Password. However, wherever I want to store those secrets is the same, and it may be different on each computer, but my secrets all still continue to work the same. I have some theming stuff here, and again, I have lots of gating stuff where if I'm on VS Code or Windows Terminal, I have different kinds of escape characters. But this basically just sets up my theming, as you've probably seen in my console, that all my console text looks like it does in the VS Code default dark theme. I like that consistency. I like things so that all my highlighting looks the same, and that's just some customization I've done there. And then some shorthands, really easy little shorthands for Terraform, just TF, Polimi, PUL, CTLK, just because I don't like typing all that out, even with the automatic completion stuff that happens. And then I have a couple helpers here. These are kind of more involved commands that are a little different than the shorthands, but little things like I tend to make quick commits real fast. So this just gives me a real simple, like redo a commit and push it. This used to be a thing that thankfully I don't have to use much anymore, thanks to a recent fix that's in VS Code, but my PowerShell would hard lock all the time, so I actually made myself a function to bounce my VS Code to get it working again. Quick way to turn on debug when I want to see that. Quick way to invoke scripts that are on the web. And then as far as this is a thing that starts up some Starship completions. So if you're not familiar with Starship is a tool like Oh My Posh, which has been demoed here, such for theming your prompt. And so here's a view of Starship. The nice thing about Starship is it works not just in PowerShell, it works in Bash, it works in everywhere, so that I can have the same consistent theme no matter where I am. So here's here's my PowerShell preview console, here's my Azure Cloud Shell, here is my Ubuntu shell, my Ubuntu running in Windows Server for Linux, subsystem for Linux. And so I get that nice same contextual prompt with all the fancy stuff that I have, and my nice little niceties, like if I have an error, it puts this little explosion there. If I'm in debugging mode, it'll know that I'm in debugging mode there. Oops, that got to be nice first. Oh, I know why, because I'm in a different thing there. Well, anyhow, it would show a little bug icon there, but just little fancy little customizations there. And all of that's in my profile too, which you'll find. And some more integrations, again, just little things, making my scoop search faster, making it so that when I'm in PowerShell 5.1, I want always to use TLS 1.2 so I don't get those errors with a lot of things I get these days. If I'm on version 7, I want my error view to have that nice little concise view that Steve demoed earlier. This is a fairly new one I've added to my profile. If I got the very latest version of 2.2 PS Readline, and this version check just simply means it includes beta versions. I want that Azure predictor, which you may have seen, which allows you to do those kind of predictions. And then I don't think there's one thing that kind of Steve's I don't think has demoed yet in the community call, but I think you maybe